My boss asked me why I only get sick on work days. I said it must be my weekend immune system. Today, I'm going to recap a 2000 action thriller film called Reindeer Games. The film kicks off with the introduction of Rudy, an automobile burglar who is freshly incarcerated for purloining a luxury vehicle. He encounters Nick, another inmate in the same facility. Their pleasant conversations turn them into fast friends. Nick, an amiable and extrovert individual, has been in a letter correspondence with a lady named Ashley. He has projected an embellished image of himself to Ashley. Despite not having met her in person, she keeps sending him her photographs. Nick discloses to Rudy about Ashley, as well as their post-release meeting plans. He shares Ashley's letters with Rudy, who subsequently finds himself enamored with Ashley. Then, as a consequence of the poor dietary conditions, a prisoner uprising erupts. Rudy and Nick observe as their fellow inmates start the uproar. They choose to stay out of trouble, as their term in prison is due to end in just 3 days. This is not an opportune moment to get involved in any disturbances. However, they can't avoid trouble. A certain inmate, who holds a grudge against Rudy, manages to secure a knife. In a fit of anger, he tries to fatally stab Rudy during the chaos. Just in the nick of time, Nick intervenes, redirecting the knife meant for Rudy, but tragically falls victim to it himself. His death deeply devastates Rudy. 3 days later, Rudy exits the penitentiary. As he watches other freed prisoners being warmly received by their loved ones, he, who lacks any family or friends, hits rock bottom. Suddenly, he spots a recognizable face amongst the crowd, Ashley, who has come to greet Nick. After a brief hesitation, Rudy approaches Ashley. He fabricates a story, pretending to be the Nick she had been writing to. Since she has never seen a picture of Nick, she believes Rudy is him, especially as he recounts their letters with surprising accuracy. Consequently, Ashley readily accepts Rudy. She takes him home, and their bond deepens. He's completely charmed by her, even going as far as to dispose of his ID card in the toilet to hide his real identity and stay with her permanently. But their happiness is short-lived, lasting only 2 days before calamity strikes. Upon returning from a shopping trip, they find 4 armed intruders in their home. The group abducts them and transports them to a remote location in a large truck. The group's leader, Gabriel, reveals that he's Ashley's sibling. It so happens that Gabriel unintentionally found out about the relationship between his sister and Nick. Before Nick's incarceration, he was the head of security at a casino. Therefore, he had comprehensive knowledge about the casino's blueprints and safety measures. In their correspondence, Nick had informed Ashley about the casino's security being relatively lax during the holiday season, with fewer patrons present. Upon stumbling across the letter, Gabriel hatches a plot to exploit the situation by orchestrating a heist at the casino on Christmas. Under the impression that Rudy is Nick, he holds him captive with the intent to coerce him into aiding his criminal plot. On hearing of these plans, Rudy reveals his actual identity in hopes of avoiding another stint in prison. He discloses that Nick died behind bars, and he had masqueraded as him just to get closer to Ashley. Nonetheless, Gabriel is entirely unconvinced, as Rudy lacks any identification to verify his claims. Consequently, Ashley is under the impression that he's conjuring up tales to make an escape. Yet she tries to persuade Rudy to collaborate if he wishes to survive. Left with no choice but to ensure his own survival, Rudy consents to aid the group in the casino heist. Gabriel then presents a recently made blueprint of the casino's ground floor and requests Rudy to sketch out the layout of the upper floor, pinpointing the security room alarm and the vault. However, having never set foot in a casino, Rudy lacks this knowledge. Despite this, he takes a look at the sketch. He then expresses his doubts, suggesting that the casino's interior doesn't align with his memory, possibly due to renovation undertaken during his time in jail. If that's the case, the internal structure of the casino would need to be revised. Upon hearing this, Gabriel brandishes his weapon, ready to execute Rudy. Scared for his life, Rudy hastily agrees to visit the casino for verification, much to Gabriel's satisfaction. The next day, Gabriel and his crew dress Rudy up in cowboy attire and escort him to the casino. Deep down, Rudy knows it's futile, as no one there would recognize him. To add to his woes, his outfit catches the casino owner's eye. The owner approaches him and initiates a conversation. Harry, the gang member tasked with surveilling Rudy, observes this. Suspecting Rudy of alerting the owner, he discreetly questions a waiter about the casino and learns that there have been no renovations since its establishment. Harry is now certain that Rudy has been fabricating stories. In the meantime, Rudy wraps up his conversation with the casino owner and retreats to the restroom, followed shortly by Harry. A brawl ensues and Harry ends up being overpowered. The gang, keeping an eye on the casino's entrance, spot a cowboy-clad man hastily exiting the premises. They give chase, only to discover the man is not Rudy, but someone with whom Rudy swapped clothes in the bathroom. In the end, Rudy manages to escape. Realizing they've been tricked, the gang members initiate a search for him. Shortly after, they spot him sprinting through the woods with a few criminals hot on his trail. Seeing that he is making an escape, Gabriel withdraws his gun, ready to fire at him. Just then, Ashley intervenes to prevent Gabriel from shooting, causing both of them to tumble down the snowy incline. Observing Ashley risk her life to safeguard him, Rudy turns back, grabs her, and they flee together. As they navigate across a frozen lake, Gabriel and his men open fire wildly, cracking the icy surface. Ashley plunges into the icy depths, prompting Rudy to dive in immediately in an attempt to rescue her. Unfortunately, they are recaptured by Gabriel and his crew. The criminals transport them to a house where Gabriel punishes Rudy's defiance by jabbing him with darts. Following that, he confines Rudy to the room's bedpost with handcuffs and chains. After the gang departs, Rudy uses a hidden dart to unlock the handcuffs, preparing himself to escape once more. However, just as he's about to leave, he overhears a conversation between Gabriel and Ashley. Unexpectedly, he witnesses them engaging in a passionate kiss underwater. They exhibit an intimacy that defies the norms of a brother-sister relationship, leading him to uncover a shocking secret. They are not siblings but lovers, and Ashley has been a part of this entire charade. From using her charms to involve Rudy in the casino heist, to manipulating him at the lake to prevent his escape, Ashley has been instrumental in this scheme. The revelation crushes Rudy. As he's about to escape, he notices two men returning and is forced to retreat back to his room to devise an alternate exit strategy. Subsequently, Rudy leverages his creativity to convincingly describe the casino's internal layout to Gabriel in hopes of winning his trust. The ruse succeeds and Gabriel is swayed. They decide to carry out the operation on Christmas Day, and Rudy seizes the opportunity to request a gun for the mission. Gabriel acquiesces, although the weapon provided is merely a replica water gun. Despite this, Rudy enjoys the ruse, filling the water gun with potent whiskey and drinking from it to pass the time. On Christmas Eve, the gang descends upon the casino with Ashley stationed as lookout at the entrance. Gabriel, Rudy, and the rest don Santa Claus outfits and, feigning the role of patrons, enter the casino, which is sparsely populated. The handful of staff members working late appear preoccupied. As part of their plan, Rudy picks a fight with a customer at a table to create a distraction. Seizing this opportunity, Gabriel ascends to the second floor, aiming to seize control of the casino's security system. Unbeknownst to him, Rudy had invented the entire layout of the casino. Consequently, Gabriel wastes considerable time searching for the non-existent security room. Nonetheless, he encounters and eliminates 3 security guards in the actual security room and manages to sabotage the casino's security and alarm systems. Concurrently, a gunfight ensues in the basement between several robbers and the casino's security personnel, resulting in the death of all the casino's guards and 2 of Gabriel's associates. Amid the ensuing pandemonium, Gabriel and Harry quickly take charge. They take the casino owner and several employees hostage. Seeing the chaos, Rudy tries to slip away, but his escape is thwarted by Ashley as she storms into the casino. In a sudden twist, Ashley sheds her facade of frailty, revealing her true self, and corners Rudy with a gun. Simultaneously, the gang begins their plunder of the casino vault. However, Gabriel isn't content as he recalls a detail from Nick's letter to Ashley about the casino owner hiding a valuable chest. Initially, Gabriel resorts to physically assaulting the casino owner. Then he asks Rudy to confront the owner. As the owner fails to recognize Rudy, his true identity is revealed, leading Gabriel to the realization that he has been tricked repeatedly, which fuels his rage. He resolves to kill Rudy, who suddenly recalls a tidbit from his jailhouse conversation with Nick about a secret safe hidden beneath the boss's wine cabinet in his office. Gabriel soon uncovers a large safe concealed behind the liquor cabinet, coercing the casino owner to open it. Just as Gabriel prepares to inspect the revealed treasures, the owner grabs 2 submachine guns from the safe and fires at Gabriel and Ashley, narrowly missing them. Seizing the moment of confusion, the owner manages to sneak out of the office, while Gabriel and Ashley make a hasty escape. Meanwhile, Harry chases after Rudy, and they engage in a physical tussle. Amid the chaos, Rudy grabs a fallen gun and aims it at Harry. However, the gun starts to leak alcohol from the barrel, revealing it to be the replica water gun he had been given. The sight of it amuses Harry, who brandishes another gun at Rudy, while also holding a lighter and a cigarette. Rudy, seizing an unexpected opportunity, fires the gun at the flame just as Harry lights the cigarette. Harry is immediately engulfed in flames. Simultaneously, Gabriel and Ashley catch up to and kill the casino owner. They then locate Rudy, subdue him, and secure him to a truck, intending to send it plummeting off a cliff. They've stashed a wrecked car inside the truck's cabin, planning to send Rudy and the car off the cliff simultaneously to feign the death of the robber, thereby allowing them to escape with their stolen wealth and live a peaceful life. Upon learning about their plot, Rudy feels trapped and despairs. He vehemently berates Ashley for her heartless nature. Ashley retorts, chiding him for being unappreciative and accusing him of usurping Nick's girlfriend, the one who had saved his life in jail. This revelation stuns Rudy. While he had disclosed Nick's death in prison, he had never mentioned that Nick saved his life. As he voices his confusion, Gabriel, standing nearby, senses something amiss. In a swift move, before Gabriel can press for more information, Ashley fatally shoots him. The sudden turn of events leaves Rudy shocked and bewildered, but little does he know, even greater surprises await him. Emerging from the shadows, Nick, previously presumed dead in prison, strides over to Ashley's side. It becomes clear that Nick is the mastermind behind the heist. Rudy and Gabriel's crew were merely pawns, chosen by him to serve as diversions and fall guys. Prior to his stint in prison, Nick and his girlfriend Millie Bobeck, known as Ashley, meticulously orchestrated the crime. They managed to bribe both guards and inmates, culminating in the successful staging of Nick's death. Now he steps into the limelight, poised to enjoy the fruits of the robbery, while also maintaining a clean slate. Once Nick has fully explained his plot, he shoves Rudy into a car doused in gasoline, with his hands tied to the steering wheel. The plan to stage the death of the robber in a car crash remains unchanged. Unbeknownst to Nick, Rudy has a background as a car thief. Just as Nick prepares to send the car over the cliff and Millie gets ready to ignite the vehicle, Rudy has already sliced through the bindings using a hidden switchblade. He promptly starts the car, shifts it into reverse, and hits Nick, causing serious injuries. He then changes gears, propelling Millie and the car towards the cliff edge. Rudy manages to bail out of the car right before it plunges over the edge. Gasping for breath, Nick makes a desperate plea to Rudy for mercy. However, Rudy dismisses him without a second glance and pushes both Nick and the truck off the cliff. Ultimately, Rudy comes out on top, but he doesn't keep the ill-gotten money. As he makes his way back home to Sinise, he distributes the money into mailboxes, presenting them as Christmas gifts. Finally, he joins his family for a festive Christmas dinner. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.